at today's mayor-making ceremony. We are here to carry out one of the Council's most long-standing civic duties, the election of the next mayor of the City of Derby. This tradition stretches back to 1638 and remains an important part of the city's democratic and ceremonial life. It has been an honour to serve as Derby's first citizen over the past year. The role brings a unique perspective on the life of the city, its communities, its institutions, and its people. I'm grateful for the experience of the past 12 months and for the support I've received in carrying out the responsibilities of the office. As we proceed with today's ceremonies, we reflect the history of this role and many individuals who have held it before. Each has contributed in their own way to the civic life of the City of Derby. To my successor, I offer my best wishes. It is a role that brings both challenges and rewards, and I hope you find it worthwhile as I have. Before we proceed, I'd like to offer a warm welcome to our invited dignitaries who have joined us in the Council chamber this morning. Mr. Andrew Cochrane, representing His Majesty's Lord Lieutenant of Derbyshire. Mr. Chris Bairds, Deputy Under-Sheriff on behalf of the High Sheriff of Derbyshire. Mr. Peter Leatherhead, South Derbyshire Bench Chair. The Very Reverend Dr. Peter Robinson, the Dean of Derby Cathedral. Superintendent Becky Webster from the Derbyshire Constabulary. Miss Sarah Russell, Chief of Staff for Derbyshire MPs Catherine Atkinson and Baggy Shanker. Welcome back to the Chamber, Sarah. Mr. Stephen Duthridge, Chief Operating Officer for the University of Derby. I'd also like to welcome our Mayor's Cadets to this ceremony this morning, who will work to support the Mayor at various engagements over the course of the next year. With us today are Corporal Alexander Kirk, accompanied by Colour Sergeant Julie Smith of the British Army Cadets. Flight Sergeant Aaron Gilham, accompanied by Squadron Leader Rob Moore of the RAF Cadets. Leading Cadet Harry Johnson, accompanied by Sub-Lieutenant Destin Lunn of the Royal Navy Sea Cadets. I am delighted that you all found time in your busy schedules to join us for this engagement and this historic civic occasion. Thank you. I am also pleased to welcome back Derby's returning councillors as we look forward to a new municipal year. I know that many of you have been heavily involved in elections elsewhere in Derbyshire, and I hope you've had opportunity to get some rest and are ready to start a new municipal year. Lastly, but most importantly, I'd like to welcome the residents of Derby who have joined us in the public gallery or are watching online. It's a great privilege to have you all with us, so thank you so much. Now, as Mayor, I've got discretion to say to councillors, as it's going to get warm today, you have my permission at this stage to take your jackets off if you wish. That's up to you. But I'm a kind Mayor, so I think it's only fit to say that one little thing. Now we move to item number 1, election of the Mayor of the City of Derby for the next municipal year. It is now my pleasure to request nominations for the position of Mayor of the City of Derby for the forthcoming municipal year. Can I take nominations, please?
I nominate Councillor Ajit Singh Atwell.
Thank you. Is there a seconder? Councillor Lindsay. Are there any other nominations? If not, can you give your speech, please, Councillor Kerr?
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Councillor Ajit Atwell is Derby born and Derby bred, though his parents are both from the Punjab in India. His father came to Britain as a young man in the early 1960s and more by luck than judgment ended up with a foundry job in Derby. He wasn't afraid of hard work and he settled in fast. It wasn't long before he was married. Ajit was their first child. He grew up in Normanton, living in Wilford Street, Stonehill Road, and then Clarence Road, before moving to their current family home on Burton Road. The family bought the garage on Clarence Road in the 1970s. This was the first of the family businesses, which expanded into the well-known Atwell car and van hire service on Dairy House Road, and then also into property development. Ajit had gone to Dale Primary School and then Littleover School. He enjoyed sports more than academia and joined the family business when he left school. The sporting interest he continued as a keen gym goer. He also trained in security, meaning that as a young man he spent more time outside than inside nightclubs. Ajit married in his early 20s and has 3 boys. The youngest is soon to leave Littleover School. That may be the route that Ajit's life has taken, but it doesn't tell you much about the man he has become. The thing that impresses me most about Ajit is his networking. He knows so many people, both through his business and professional connections and through socialising. He has an amazing memory for faces and is nearly as good at backstories and names. I've lost count of the number of people who Ajit refers to as my mate. Canvassing with him, he always meets people he knows. He is also happy to contact these people and ask a favour. More often than not, this is not on his own account, but to solve someone else's problem. People can be generous, and Ajit seems to be able to bring generosity out in others. He is also generous with his own resources. This includes for several years providing Christmas hampers for those in need, and during COVID, he was conscious of those really struggling for both food and clothing. While other outlets were closed, he worked with fellow business people in Normanton to use the car showroom as a food bank and donated clothing store. Ajit's actions reflect his family and cultural background. He is a Sikh and regular attender at the temple, Gurdwara. His father and wider family instilled in him the importance of respect for other people and communities. The family both recognised their cultural background and embraced the British culture where they live. Ajit is also happy to stand out. This is a good thing, as his stature means he'd find it hard to hide. He doesn't worry if he's the only guy drinking coffee in a pub and will call out wrongdoing when he sees it. With the family business ticking over nicely, he was able to follow up on his interest in politics, being elected to Abbey Ward in 2010. As a councillor, he soon picked up his experience in the vehicle trade and security on licensing committee, of which he was at times a vice chair. But his interests are wide, and he has also made his mark in other areas too. For the last year, Ajit has served as the Deputy Mayor. This will stand him in good stead for the more demanding role of Mayor. So, as someone born and bred in Derby, someone with wide social and business connections, and someone with great respect for individuals and communities, I am delighted to propose Ajit Singh Atwell as an ideal candidate to be the next Mayor of Derby. I hope that all will support him.
Thank you, Councillor Kerr. I'm going to now move to the vote. All those in favour of supporting that nomination, please show their hands. Thank you. The nomination is carried. Any against? Therefore, that nomination is carried. Congratulations, Councillor.
Mr. Mayor, I will now ask you to take the formal declaration of acceptance of office. If you can repeat after me. I, Ajit Singh Atwal,
I, Ajit Singh Atwal,
having been elected
to
the office of Mayor of the City of Derby,
Mayor of the City of Derby,
declare
declare that I
take that office upon myself,
take that office upon myself
and will duly and faithfully fulfill the duties of it according to the best of my judgment and ability. I affirm my commitment to corporate parenting in respect of the City Council's children in care, and will encourage others to do so. I pledge to take every opportunity presented to me by virtue of my role as a councillor to promote the well-being of children in the care of the City Council. I undertake to observe the codes to the conduct which is expected of members of Derby City Council. Congratulations, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Emily.
Please be seated. Good morning, everyone. It's a real honour to welcome you all, fellow councillors, honoured guests, friends and members of the public. A special thank you to my family for their support and your presence. It means a great deal. I'm truly humbled to be standing here as the new Mayor of Derby. Our city is full of pride, resilience and strong community spirit, and I will do my best to uphold these values during my term. Each Mayor chooses a charity to support, and I'm proud to announce mine is Derby Tockade Children's Camp, a remarkable volunteer-led charity that has been running since 1924 for over 100 years. They've given thousands of vulnerable children from Derby a free 10-day holiday, offering joy, safety and a break from very challenging circumstances. These children may face difficulties such as neglect, abuse or caring responsibilities. At camp, they enjoy simple pleasures like games, walks in the countryside and making lasting friendships, all thanks to the dedication of volunteers who I have the pleasure of seeing here today. Thank you, guys. Derby Tockades may not always be in the spotlight, but the difference they make is truly life-changing. I'm honoured to support them this year and to help share their incredible work. Thank you again for this privilege. I look forward to a year of service and celebration with you. Thank you. We will now move to the election of the Deputy Mayor. Do I have any nominations?
I nominate Councillor Philip Ingle.
Do we have a seconder?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Steve. Do we have any more nominations? Would you like to say a few words? Sorry. All those in favour of Councillor Ingle? Any against? The motion is passed. Congratulations, Councillor Philip Ingle, on becoming the Deputy Mayor of Derby.
you to take the formal declaration of acceptance of office. If you can repeat after me. I, Philip John Ingle,
I, Philip John Ingle,
having been
elected
to the office of the Deputy Mayor of the City of Derby,
to the office of the Deputy Mayor of the City of Derby,
declare that I
declare that I
take that office upon myself
take that office upon myself
and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties of it, according to the best of my judgment and ability. I undertake to observe the code as to the conduct which is expected of the members of Derby City Council. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Councillor Ingle.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please be seated.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It's now time to thank the retiring Mayor. We will now move a motion of thanks to the retiring Mayor as printed on the front of your agenda. Do I have a proposer and a seconder, please?
It's okay for you to propose.
I'll propose, yeah. Do I have a seconder? Steve has. Can I put that to a vote, please? All in favour? That's carried, thank you. Councillor Jed Potter, would you like to come to the front and do your speech, please? Thank you.
We might need another rubber band, actually. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Once again, congratulations to you and the Mayoress, and also congratulations to the Deputy Mayor and Deputy Mayoress. Invited dignitaries and honoured guests, officers and councillors. Some 12 months ago, in my acceptance speech, I identified that my mayorship will be based on the values of faith, respect and inclusiveness, with my personal values of family, family, family at the core of everything I was to do. In respect of faith, my wife Tracy and I have often felt that the wonderful Derby Cathedral was in fact our second home. Places of worship and faith centres, Tracy and I have visited a plethora of places of worship and shown our faith to all that we could. Unfortunately, our own place of worship in Alistria has suffered, and I apologise to them for our absence. With regard to respect, we have shown and received the utmost respect from everyone. We could have only achieved greater inclusiveness if we had actually been cloned, as we have had over 300 full-chain official events, more undertaken with a badge of office, and continual meetings with charities and community groups. I have to say our fuel tanks are almost empty. Also, I nominated 2 Derby charities as my nominated charities, those being the Invisible Friends and what was called at the time Jericho House. So I'm pleased to announce that although some donations are still awaited for being deposited, at this time it is expected that both charities should receive a share of £9,500. Again, a big thank you to my charity team and all those who raise funds by quiz evenings, going to golfing events, and I do not play golf. I also said that I intended to help other charities with donations. So I worked for Me&D, Rainbows, Mind, Derbyshire Children's Centre and others, and they received a further £600 from my own personal efforts. I really have to thank my family, not only my wife, Tracy, but also my daughters, Gillian, Elaine, Emily, and I've got to mention her boyfriend, Charlie, and Isabel, who undertook various consort duties. Other consorts included Mr. Steve Kirk and a number of glamorous young ladies of a certain age from various charities and community groups. Here at the Council House, my thanks go to my attendant Mick and more recently Chris. To Jodie, who has my sincere apologies for making her say, "You've done what?" so often. To Catherine and Will, and all those officers who have been on hand to offer advice, I thank you. Not forgetting you, Mr. Mayor, who served as my Deputy Mayor and was a great support to my team. Thank you so much. I move on to my thoughts on my term of office now. Mr. Mayor, not only are you Mayor, but you're also first citizen of the City of Derby. You'll be invited to many functions whereby concerns are raised with you as first citizen and Mayor. In particular, I have been invited to many state pensioner events who suffer more than most in our community. And interestingly, more than around 95,000 state pensioners than previous years have been attending accident and emergency departments over the last few winter months. As a society, we have to look at redefining how we better acknowledge those who have contributed to the financial well-being of the state through their working lives and now need support in their twilight years. Many pensioners have approached me and discussed how they are now living alone in homes that once housed large families. So as a society, we should be talking about not only affordable homes, but also retirement complexes in new housing developments with all the required amenities nearby. I mentioned this for two ladies from the West Indian community who told me this exact thing. They were suffering from living alone in two large former family homes. They told me, as the Mayor, to get it sorted. So, although I'm no longer Mayor, I expect their calls to continue, and I'll leave you with that thought. Other areas I'd like to mention is charities. We are so lucky in this city to have many charities who not only support council departments, but also go above and beyond what council can offer. I fear what would happen to those in need if these charities cease to operate or have to cut staff or services. Veterans. I think it's an ongoing problem that we have to have the ability to deal and support those who have supported us. And again, I call on the council to open negotiations with various veteran charities. So I come to the question that you will be asked, Mr. Mayor, at your final 12 months. What is the highlight of your year? Well, ours, was it welcoming HRH Princess Anne to Derby? Was it attending the tea party at Buckingham Palace? Was it having a fantastic trip to Osnabrück during the twinning celebrations? Well, I'll let you into a bit of a secret. For a Derby lad and lass from two long-standing Derby families, although those events filled us with an immense pride in representing the city of Derby, for me and my wife, we loved attending community events around the city, made possible by hard-working volunteers who asked for nothing more than a thank you, a chat, a cup of tea, a handshake, and more than likely, a couple of thumbs-up photographs with the Mayor. So I leave you with these words from another Derby councillor. Words have power. They can build bridges or deepen divide. We must aim for cohesion, not alienation. So I say, well said, young man. Thank you all.
Thank you, Councillor Potter. We now move on to the remaining item of business on the agenda for the first part of the meeting. Are there any apologies? Any apologies? No? Item 5, appointment of the Pinder and Tenter for the ensuing year. The next item of business is appointment to the historic position of Pinder and Tenter. This is one of the most ancient ceremonial roles associated with this city, with its origins dating back to the 12th century. Historically, the Pinder was responsible for the impounding and care of stray animals found within the borough, ensuring they were kept safely until claimed by their owners. The Tenter, meanwhile, oversaw the stretching and drying of cloth, a process essential to the finishing of wool and textile, which were a cornerstone of Derby's local economy for many centuries. I will now move the motion as it is printed on the agenda to appoint the Council's Head of Leisure and Culture and Tourism, Mr Robbie Kerr, who holds managerial responsibility for Derby's historic marketplace. Do I have a seconder, please? Thank you, Councillor Potter. Any speakers on this?
Move to the vote.
Move to the vote then, please. All those in favour? Thank you, that's passed. Thank you. Item 6. Item 6, ladies and gentlemen, that almost brings the business of the first part of the annual meeting to a close. Before we stand for the National Anthem, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the catering and employment learners from Derby Adult Learning Service who have prepared and served the refreshments that we will be enjoying shortly. I will now move a motion to adjourn the meeting, and we will reconvene at 3 p.m. to consider the remaining item of business on the agenda. I would also like to take this opportunity in thanking all the Derby residents that are watching on YouTube, all family and all my friends that have travelled from near and far to be here today. It means a lot. Thank you very much. Do I have a seconder for the adjournment for the 3 p.m. meeting? Thank you, Councillor Potter. Unless anybody objects or wishes to speak, the motion is carried. I draw this meeting to a close. Please, could you all stand for the National Anthem?